Playoffs? Don't talk about playoffs.
Cannot play with them. Cannot win with them. Cannot coach with them. Can't do it. I want winners.
Hello? You play to win the game.
But they are who we thought they were. And we let them off the hook. Come after me. I'm a man. I'm 40. That's all I got to say. Makes me want to puke.
The train wreck of social media is now on the air. Here is your host.
Welcome to the show that is the train wreck of social media. We want to welcome each and every one of you out there in TV land. Huh?
I have a question.
I know one that can raise their hand for a question.
What is the question now?
So,
how do we do it?
when you say the train wreck of social media, and now here's your host, are you pitching it to yourself?
Yes.
Yeah.
I am the host. You have told me numerous times you're the eye candy and Showtime. That's what you do. We've known each other since we was 5 years old, dude. And it has never changed. I've always been the host. You've always been the Showtime.
Doesn't that kind of make me the host?
No.
I'm carrying the show, man.
No.
You got first billing.
Yeah, you're first.
I got no billing.
I created. You got the first billing.
Only in name alone. We had this conversation today.
Yeah, you're the D-Swane.
Beyonce, Destiny's Child. Sorry.
But there would be no Beyonce if it wasn't for Destiny's Child.
Correct.
Destiny's Child created Beyonce.
Yes, they did. And now
you're Beyonce.
Does that make us like an offshoot, like a wannabe Beyonce?
Yes.
Like
here's the thing.
Y'all were like the people that set up the show that we said, you know what, we feel sorry for y'all. Y'all come on.
Here's the thing. Beyonce's probably the third best singer out of Destiny's Child. And I mean that sincerely. That Michelle Williams chick that was on.
Okay, well, he did say he was Beyonce, so he's the third best out of us.
And that's fine.
The Masked Singer?
I'll be last.
Was she on the Masked Singer?
I'll be the fourth.
Give me her bank account and I'll go.
You got
The Masked Singer, though, that chick blew me what she was fantastic. I thought, what did they think when they saw Beyonce and heard this chick and thought, yeah, we like her better?
Gotta be the butt.
I guess.
I really didn't think you'd go there. Oh, I'm going there.
Oh, and this is a sports show, people. Sorry.
Yeah. I don't know where we got started there, but let's just go.
Have you done your thing yet? Because I'm not.
I did it. I shared it to. Just go to Randall Cunningham.
I think we are waiting. We've got some viewers still coming on. This is new to everybody, so let's be patient with them.
We could actually post this to the old D-Swane.
I did.
Okay.
I posted it, maybe not this link, but a link to look for us. You might want to go ahead and post it on.
That's what I was thinking I did.
Yeah. Go ahead and post it on our page.
Right there on my page.
All right. I tapped on it and it took me straight to YouTube.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
and then
posted
you just find ours and let everybody know there is live chat.
We're up to 17 subscribers.
So we're going to give everybody a
Do
few
I need
minutes.
to subscribe on yours or because I've already
If you
subscribed?
subscribe, you're good.
Okay.
We've only got one comment, and it's from me.
We're getting there.
Little B.
We knew this was coming. This is anytime you change, people freak out.
We do have some big news, though, on the show tonight.
Yes, we have some big news. We'll wait till we get a little bit more.
And I also went ahead and boosted that up too with the $10 they gave me free. So
There you go.
Okay.
So
we have a
shared it.
special guest in the house tonight, Miss Anna Lee.
It's Country Road.
come on.
The Country Road.
Miss Anna Lee decided to join us again, and we will be singing to her at some point
I
tonight.
bet she did not decide to join us again. I bet if given the option, she'd say, "No, Dad, I'm good.
Actually,
You have fun."
Anna Lee, is that true?
What?
No.
That you really don't want to be here. Your dad makes you come.
Oh, no, I love it here.
So there you go.
So I actually tried to punish her on the way down because, let's just be frank, I love my kid, but she was being unbearable.
Anna Lee, she needs food.
Well,
I got some fries left over I didn't eat. You can have them over here.
$14 at the convenience store later. I hope she's in a good mood.
Tabitha Arnold is on YouTube.
I
with us.
threatened. She just
Welcome,
fell out. My daughter just fell out of the chair.
Oh,
I'll tell you what.
I threatened to punish her by not letting her come to this show. And it's the only thing that's ever been affected that made her stop misbehaving.
Wow. Tabitha, how is everything sounding on your end? Is the picture and sound good? Are we okay? What's
puke,
give us a
vomit,
thumbs up?
yuck.
What?
So Milk Belly commented.
No, I'm looking at the scores of. Most people don't know, but today the U.S. Open started.
Yeah.
And?
Justin Thomas.
I take it you're not a Justin Thomas fan?
It's too late.
Here's the thing. Do you want to know why? People, do you want to know why I don't like Justin
Why?
Thomas?
D-Swane.
And I'm not. I play golf as much as I can, and I enjoy it.
Sweet,
And I don't
go on the
want.
big screen.
I don't want that or somebody yelling as I'm swinging.
Right.
You can talk while I'm. If I approach the ball and there's a conversation going on, I'm not going to be mad because I can block that out. It's the sudden noise. So Justin
Does that
Thomas.
bother you when you swing?
If it's sudden, yes. If you're
Like, would bother you?
yes.
In the middle of a backswing.
Write that in.
We know it's everybody that golfs.
Yeah, that's
regularly.
everybody.
It don't
on
bother
earth.
me because I'm horrible anyway.
Fair enough.
But I made him swing and miss today.
And so I'm
Several
not
times.
an advocate of it on the PGA. And there's guys that will yell. They try to time it like right at contact or just after contact. And sometimes they yell a little early, which
They
isn't
did
cool.
Tiger the same way, did they not? For years, and Tiger gets so mad. Like as soon as they would hit it, they'd go, "Hey, get the ball!
Get the ball!"
Hey!"
You the man. I like her. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, it's a
Well-
par 5, 605 yards, and off the tee they're yelling,
Get the ball!
Yeah, that's insane.
Yeah.
So Justin Thomas is in a playoff. He's in the fairway. Hits his ball. It's in mid-flight. And you hear some dude get in the bunker. He's already come out of his pose. Gets him tossed out of the tournament because he's butthurt because somebody doesn't want him to win. So I never want Justin Thomas to win anything.
"What's wrong with you, Justin Thomas?
What was he?
Quit being a millennial girl.
Hey, have I ever told you about going to the practice round at the
You know all about being a millennial.
The only golf tournament
Did he
I've
just
ever
go there?
attended was the Wednesday before the Masters, the practice round, and it was
Did you go to the par 3?
yes,
That's the coolest thing ever.
and just the fact, hey, the best pimento cheese sandwich
Oh, yeah.
ever for $2, folks. Great
I'm gonna have to do it.
A $2 pimento cheese sandwich.
at the Masters.
That's a long. That's a long.
Now, if you want a little medallion, that's $30.
Yeah.
But you go to the pro shop, you're gonna drop cash. But if you're just there to watch golf, take pictures, and eat food,
Anna Lee, do you eat pimento cheese?
I
Do you eat
love
pimento cheese?
I like pimento cheese.
There's a new Chick-fil-A chicken
No.
sandwich with it on
Okay, that's a no.
Hmm.
What just happened?
it. Rolled out this weekend.
What?
Do you eat
Hello,
pimento
Megan.
cheese?
What cheese?
Pimento cheese.
It's like a reddish orange color.
That sounds disgusting.
Thank you.
This is we don't eat foods that aren't just cheese.
Yeah.
Cheese comes in a slice and it's got plastic around it. Yeah.
Have you ever eat the plastic around the cheese
No,
slice?
I have
I've
not.
eaten the cheese out of the plastic.
Yeah, I have.
When I
that.
was a kid.
I could see you doing that as of last week.
Hey, you ever slapped the cheese on the sandwich and didn't take the plastic
Yes,
off?
I've had that happen to me and bite into it. Yes.
Yeah, I did that to a guy.
Sure you
trying to steal
have.
my
I
food.
have.
Last week.
No, week before. Come on, get with
I
it.
did some crazy things to people that try to steal my food in chain game.
I wouldn't doubt that a bit. Now,
I lit a cherry coke up with the ghost pepper extract one time. Inmates, he stole my cherry coke the day before. So second day, I peeled the little cellophane back. I hit it with dog insulin needle with some ghost pepper extract. Put it back in the fridge. He come in and got it. And he said, "Officer Barnett, I'll never mess with your food again. Never mess with your food again."
that's kind of cruel, ain't it?
How? He stole my cherry coke. You don't mess with my cherry coke.
Amen.
All right, we have Megan Matthews, howdy fellas.
Look at
She
that.
is in.
It's on the big screen.
Yes, we're on the big screen. We have made it.
Hey, Mars.
Now, here's I'm just going to go ahead and give y'all some heads up. We're still allowing everybody to jump on.
I can't figure out how to make chat work.
Huh?
Chat work. Say that.
He
please.
cannot figure out how to make the chat work.
I like it
It
because
should
you
just
can
there should
minimize
right
it.
underneath their screen. There's a button that says live chat.
I like it because you can minimize it and it still floats around your screen and you can do all your crazy stuff.
That's how we roll.
Yeah, but not on Facebook can't do
That no, Facebook can't do it. We have upgraded our technology.
Patrick Reed.
I was here. I was here till 11 o'clock last night trying to figure this out, so we could actually present something a little better long term down the road. And I believe we finally figured out what was keeping us froze up. But Facebook just could not handle what was going on. Now, granted, it's taken us a minute to get everybody in, so we're kind of not talking about subject yet. But we have.
Oh, I got it now. I wasn't on.
Phil Mickelson, +9.
Okay, we'll get to golf in a minute.
Tiger, +3.
Here he goes. He's having an argument with his phone again.
Here we go.
There's no argument.
Let's
Hey,
just.
I've decided that one day I'm going to start texting him to the show and see if making him mad and see if he argues with
He
Tom.
will
Or
carry
me.
on the show by himself and carry on both sides of the show
I'm gonna
and
bring in
argue
a-
with his phone and
I'm
wait
gonna
for
bring in
them.
a burner phone that he don't know
Yeah.
the number.
And wait for them to get it taken care of. So what we have tonight, we're going to talk about the MLB standings. We're going to talk about some news with the Pouncey twins.
Big news.
Big news with the Pouncey twins.
Florida Gators.
We're going to talk about the 2021 Hall of Fame class inductees, first ballot inductees.
Who are eligible for the first ballot.
And
two
do
of
we
them.
Some
think,
dude with a big flipping forehead's one of them.
I
wouldn't
don't
talk
know.
about
Do y'all
Calvin
think
Johnson that way.
y'all think he's
Is he eligible too?
Oh, I
There's
think-
somebody
I
else
think-
besides him too.
Yeah.
And Peyton.
Yeah, there's.
I heard the other name and I can't remember.
What's that?
When they were talking about it, I heard Peyton and someone else, but it wasn't Calvin Johnson.
Charles Woodson.
Charles Woodson.
We've got them
Charles
right here.
Tillman.
We're going to be going over all that.
Calvin Johnson may not get in. I mean, even though he is great,
Just because he cut his career off like he did.
All right.
and he never done anything. He led the league probably in catches a couple of times, but
He was so dominant, though.
he
He's
was
gotta get
great.
in eventually.
Yeah.
But there's a backlog at wide receiver if you hadn't looked at it. There's like wide receivers waiting to go in that you would never dream that.
Andre Reed being one of them.
Andre Reed. I think who was it got in last year that had been waiting? It might have been Terrell Owens
He got in 2 years ago.
2 years ago. I know Marvin Harrison failed to get in.
Yeah,
And
he was
then-
close.
And you know that's Marvin Harrison. People don't think about, but I mean he's like in the top 5 of catches in a career.
Yeah.
Look, I'm a big, as much as I make fun of Peyton, I'm a big Peyton fan, but his career probably doesn't go the same trajectory if he doesn't have Marvin Harrison to throw the ball to. Because then, you talk about the rich getting richer. Hey, Reggie Wayne,
Yeah.
you get to go to the other side.
And that tight end wasn't bad either.
Dallas Clark, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Here's what you got to look
you
at.
give him Joe Schmo, he's still going to win
No.
9, 10.
They're not going to sink money in Peyton Manning and not have him a class act.
Okay, well, they sunk. Kansas City just sunk their entire existence into Patrick
I
Mahomes.
know that.
And in
I
2 years, he going to be throwing to me and you.
Well, that's
Because that's all they're going to be able to
Think
afford.
about it.
Yeah, when that salary cap hits, good luck.
So don't tell me they were going to sink all that money in Peyton. And
I still think they would have had somebody that could catch the ball. You know that he's got to throw to. They got to.
You look at the problems in Atlanta right now, and at some point I'm gonna go D-Swane on the Falcons. But
I can help you.
They've got so much money in Matt Ryan,
Julio.
Jones, and they're still playing Devontae Freeman. I mean, they can't put a defense on the field. And now Todd Gurley for 1 year, but I mean, I thought they got Gurley, but really
They got him on the cheap, though.
yeah, but
Because, I mean, he's got to do all kinds of stuff to even max out the contract he's
Right.
got this year.
it's Alex Max, Matt Ryan, Julio Jones is eating probably 40% of the salary cap. And that defense is horrible.
It's not good. And my Florida Gator safety stays hurt all the time. Because he's good.
He is, but he's missed 2 years. And
Yeah.
in our first round draft pick from Clemson, I swear there was a point there was so much room between him and Tyler Lockett, you could count the yard mark. It was like, in the NFL, they get, 18 inches?
They're wide open.
Yeah. In between A.J. Terrell and Tyler Lockett, you could count like 6 yard markers at one point.
Man. Now, my boy C.J. Henderson showed out for his first NFL game.
Yep.
Welcome to the show, S&J Creations.
River
They
City
tuned in.
Podcasting.
River City
Mars,
Podcasting, which
Tabitha
it is time in about 2 minutes.
Hey,
Top of the
Georgia
hour.
fans, how y'all feel about 40-year commemorative jerseys?
I like it.
We're gonna cover that here in just a few minutes. We'll get to
Are you
that.
logged on?
Maybe
Right
maybe
top.
write something out then.
I'm watching.
What do you mean right out?
On us.
No.
Then you
Something like that?
The show log?
Yeah.
Oh, I can do that real quick.
Nah, too late now. I done blurted it out there.
He can't remember.
I'm using.
We talked about this right before our production meeting. Before we go on the air, we talk about this.
You didn't say, well, wait on
Yeah.
that.
You didn't hear me?
No.
You was too busy cramming them Reese's Pieces down your pie hole, probably.
Reese's Pieces.
And speaking of that,
Reese's
we're going to have
Pieces.
a...
Not Reese's.
Reese's Pieces.
The Reese's.
I'm gonna get red pen, so
The
I have
Reese's.
to be. I have
Not
to, I have to
Reese's.
bring A game. I'm not getting red pen tonight.
Hey, I've totally wiped the word that starts IDEA out of my vocabulary. I have good thoughts from now on.
So you took ideal totally off the chart.
Off the page. If I use it, it'll be only because
So what fun is that? You don't want to get red penned?
I'm trying not to get
That and he doesn't want to sound dumb.
That's the biggest part.
Hey, I hate to call it like I said, but you know me.
Have you ever hated to call it like you've seen it?
No.
That's a good thought.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, it is time once again for the River City Podcasting Sports Update with your host, Mike.
Mike, yes, yes. I just well, that didn't. Brought to you by Cole Hamels. You know why Cole Hamels is sponsoring it?
I have an idea.
Because we're in the same voting age bracket, and he got $27 million or whatever it was to pitch.
2 1/3.
2 1/3, baby. Cole, hope you rest up the next 4 days. Maybe we can get you out of the third. God, the Braves pitching staff's going to kill me. Thank you. Tonight we have NFL football. The Bengals of Cincinnati and the Browns of Cleveland. Hey, that's a pretty good game right
is a good
there.
game.
Should be a pretty entertaining
Should
game.
be, but
For
if
those
you
that
got
are going
Joe-
to watch it.
Joe Burrows versus
Baker
Baker Mayfield.
Who's your money
Heisman.
on? Who's your money on?
Burrow.
It's,
Who's going to have the better game?
well, they're both 0-1.
All right, who's going to have the better game?
Cleveland has the
right.
better team.
Not
just
not in score.
Oh, statistically, Baker Mayfield is.
Okay,
I'm going to go Burrow.
Burrow.
I'm going Baker. So we got a
2-2.
split decision.
So the only reason I went Burrow is because I discovered last week.
Because you're wearing purple and gold.
Yeah, I'm just almost.
I was about to
LSU.
say.
You're almost.
No,
You've got an S in there.
do you know he had 46 yards on 8 rushes and a touchdown running the ball?
I didn't know he had a touchdown,
I mean, he had a big day running the
but he only
football.
threw for 170 something yards.
Hey, if
Hey, it's a not, and I'm not only, but Mayfield, he'll probably throw more interceptions than Burrow, but he's going to throw for near 300 yards.
Hey, DraftKings, those 46 yards get you there. Also, in baseball, we'll skip over that other sport. The Giants of San Francisco and the Mariners in the top of the 8th, 6-4. The Angels of Los Angeles,
Francisco Mariners.
Seattle Mariners, San Francisco Giants. I said it backwards. The Diamondbacks
My bad.
are losing to the Angels.
Shocker. Shocker. You know who's in second place in the
I
East?
don't care, really.
And you know who's been playing every day in doubleheaders to make up the games that they took off?
They called. "Hey, we got timeout. We got sick." How are they doing? Let's see.
They're
Oh, I just
24
so hap-
and 21.
I just so happen to have it right here.
We're still in the sports update, though, by the way.
Oh yeah, we'll get.
I'm waiting.
The
We'll get-
Rays of Tampa Bay
Oh,
lead
this
the
is-
Orioles
are you
of
kidding
Baltimore
me?
3-1.
Look
Later
at
tonight, the Blue Jays and the Yankees, the Mets and Phillies, And I didn't wear my Pirate stuff tonight because I don't care if they win or lose.
3 pages
Tonight,
of the exact same thing.
Dunlap's finest, Dakota Hudson, toes the mound against the Pittsburgh Pirates. Let's hope he goes 9 and sets out the awful Pirates. The Indians and the Tigers, the Rangers and the Trash Can Beaters, and the Orioles and the Rays must be playing a doubleheader. Dodgers and Rockies, and earlier today, the Red Sox beat the Marlins 5-3, and the White Sox beat the Twins.
The Wet Sox?
Wet Sox. You know, they're right there on the west side of Chicago. The White Sox beats the Twins 4-3.
All right.
Back to you, D-Lo.
Now, in the AL Central, the White Sox are in first place in the AL Central, which is really a shocker. The White Sox are having a great year.
Agreed. That's probably the biggest surprise of anything because they've not been good in a while.
Just a good core of young players, too. They might be good a while.
Here's the biggest shocker.
With don't sleep on the Orioles.
AL East. Who would you think? I know you probably already know. Who is leading the AL East?
The Rays.
Think about that. When's the last time that's ever happened?
Last year.
No, I'm talking about in the last. They went in
the last 6 months. Yeah, it's shocking.
No, I'm talking about the last year.
They didn't.
I don't think they did last year.
They didn't end up winning the East, but weren't they one of the wild cards last year?
I don't think they were.
I thought they got eliminated right at the end of the year.
Somebody's already clinched also.
The LA Dodgers.
The Dodgers.
Because they've lost like 6 games the entire year. Wow. Not really. They've lost 13 or 14. But
still, that's a good record.
that's strong.
That's impressive.
Dodgers are 30. Let's see. We'll stick them with
Did you see the dude for the Padres take Kershaw deep?
He did.
Was it Tatis?
No, it was a lefty, Trent something. And
why is it doing
he gave it. I'm going to have to demonstrate, B-Lo. You keep wigging yourself out there. I mean, he goes, boom.
What's he doing?
He kind of looks at Kershaw about a third of the way down and gives him a gotcha laugh. He gets around third base, gives the Dodgers dugout the same look, and they start mouthing at him, and he basically tells them they're weak. I'm shocked to hear that we didn't hear that he got dusted and ear-holed.
It's coming at some point.
That if there's one thing we know, baseball players do not forget.
They don't. They do.
And Kershaw doesn't have the 96 giddy-up he used to, but there's somebody over there that does.
Yep.
Who'd you pick to go to the World Series?
The Padres.
And in the American League?
The Rockies.
Didn't I say the Dodgers and the Rays?
Rockies ain't in the American League. Try again.
Who did I say? I don't remember.
Astros.
No, it wasn't a banger.
I picked the A's.
And they're leading.
I picked the A's and the Dodgers.
Actually, the White Sox have the best record, but the A's are right there below it.
Didn't I say the Dodgers and the Rays? Yeah. Isn't that who I had?
Who'd you have? You had somebody. I can't remember who it was. I thought you said the
Scroll down to the American League, I can tell you.
Astros, Mariners, Angels, Rangers, White Sox, Indians.
It was Blue Jays.
That's right. It was the Blue Jays.
And they're 20. They're right above 500 by just a little bit. 26-22. Orioles, they're right opposite. They're 22-27. And the Red Sox, 19-32.
Terrible.
That really surprises me with the Red Sox. National League Braves, 29-21. The Marlins, 25-23. Not bad. Better than I thought.
And
Nationals, 18-29. Why Nationals drop? Because Bryce is gone? I know he's been gone for a little bit, but I think it's really starting to affect
them.
them.
They won the World Series last year. Didn't affect them last year. Their third baseman's gone, Rendon.
Well, that's what I'm saying. What's going on with them?
Strasburg had a great postseason. Scherzer's got a 4 ERA. That blew me away, and the Braves lit him up the other night.
Here's
their pitching.
Here's the shocker. The Diamondbacks have a better record than the Washington Nationals. There's something about it that don't even sound right.
When did that happen?
It's right now. Nationals are 18-29. Diamondbacks are 19. They're 31. but they got a little bit more as far as wins.
Well,
They
the
won more
percentage
wins.
is still on Washington's side then.
Well, let's see, 380. Yeah, they're 383, and Diamondbacks are 380, and Pirates are 292. So Pirates are the worst team in National. Diamondbacks are second worst team.
Padres are 627.
I'm kind of surprised the Cardinals are 22 and 23 too.
Yes, Dad.
I thought they would be at
Rangers
least
367.
Black
Black shirt over a white
Red
shirt.
Sox are 370. So the American League bottom ones are worse than the National League. So anyway, that's your baseball update. We'll probably continue more into that later.
And the Braves' big signing, Kung Fu
Kung Fu Panda.
Kung Fu Panda. What's going on with Kung Fu Panda? Gabe is watching with me, testing something
He's
on
going
our
to start
TV.
for a week.
Mine pulled up on the big
Look,
screen.
Austin Riley's finally starting to figure some things out. Why are you going to bench him for a washed-up
Because look
doughboy?
Because look at Austin Riley's record. Did you not see it?
His record?
His stats.
Yeah, he's hitting 240 and 7 home runs.
All right, he is considered the worst third baseman batting average in all the National League. I seen that article the other day. That's why they done it.
I don't care what he's considered. He's also considered 22
No, he
years old.
He has the worst stats from a third baseman offensively than anybody else in baseball.
So every third baseman has more than 7 home runs.
No, I'm saying his batting average.
Oh, I don't care.
Well, that's what I'm telling you. That's what the Braves are doing. That's what the article said.
So you're going to
That's
bring
why
in
they're
a
being-
40-year-old?
That's what the article said. I'm just telling you what I read.
He could be a decent DH, but
But
we
here's
have
the
too
thing,
many
they
good
said the
players
other
to
dude-
You got to
DH.
zone at DHing because you got to play the
sent the
outfield the way it is.
Yeah, but they sent the other guy down to the minor leagues.
Camargo.
Camargo, yes.
And Riley
didn't
was
send him
right
to
on
the
the
minor
verge of
leagues.
that. Yeah, that's what they
Send him to
said.
the
No,
alternate position.
they sent him back home. There is no minor leagues this year.
They sent him down. No, it ain't the minor. It's not called the minor leagues, but he's with the.
alternate location is what it said.
But it's alternate team. Something else that had to do with these. Either that means stay home, or
No,
you're
that-
going in the.
He's part of the 60 man, but he's where the other 30 or 28 or ever how
yeah,
many.
it's like a practice squad. Kind
Yes,
of thing.
exactly.
That's kind of what he's doing. I call it the minor
and he
leagues
should because he's
in the show.
not good.
No.
They should
Well-
trade him and Tukey Toussaint for a bag of balls and maybe some
who's the
frequent
cut?
flyer
They need a
balls.
cut.
Who's the punishing angel? The punishing angel shared your link on Facebook.
Love it.
I don't know.
Love you, punishing
Yeah,
angel.
we just don't know who you are, punishing
Hey,
angel.
you're my
But
new
thank
favorite.
You. Thank you very much. We
That's
greatly
right.
Appreciate you. But tell us who you are, please.
Tell your friends, family.
All right.
Punishing angel.
But here's what we got. We it's starting to come up now a little bit. Viewers are starting to find out where we're at and how to get a hold of us.
Milk Belly. The punishing angel is Milk Belly.
Wah 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 wah.
Well, that's disheartening. Sorry, I spoke your name. I'm just kidding.
Not sorry for speaking his name.
The
Just
punishing angel. How does that fit?
Yeah, where does
Milk
that
Belly?
work?
that's a bit of an oxymoron, isn't it?
From Death Valley, the punishing angel.
Yeah, Death
Your
Valley.
finishing maneuver is to sit him.
The Halo.
No, the Yokozuna.
Yeah.
All right, your boys are in the news.
Yeah, they are.
Your boys.
They're
Boy.
Florida
probably,
boys.
they would probably be Tim Tebow's boys, wouldn't you say?
Well, they probably were.
Since they protected him so
Yes.
well.
Yes, and they did a great job.
They did.
We're talking none other than the Pouncey twins are in the news.
Mike
Imagine that.
and Marquise.
Mike Pouncey, that plays for the Charger, is having season-ending surgery.
Knee surgery.
Totally a hip surgery.
Hip surgery.
Hip surgery.
That could be.
That could be career ending.
Yeah.
It very well could be. Yeah.
Because he's, what, 31, 32 now?
But now, have you always been a Pouncey fan?
I've liked them.
They're the definition of thugonomics, kind of, in a sense. I mean, they're
They're punks a little bit.
a little bit,
But,
But
they're,
they're smart.
they also, they're intelligent.
very intelligent.
But they also, they're not shady
Yes.
at all.
Right.
If they say it, they mean it.
Right.
And that's what they believe and that's what they're going to do. Just from, what you see on the news. I don't know them personally. They may say, hey, yeah, man, I'll be over tomorrow and never show up.
Double A, I forgot. My bad. Double A's watching.
That's great. Glad that got you off guard. I mean, we're literally right in the middle of something, and you get
Squirrel.
Who does that remind you of?
you. Always you.
Always you looking at your phone arguing with it.
Just finish.
No, it ain't, Keith. That's not right.
Finish
Go ahead, say something, Keith. I'm waiting on you.
Hey, let's finish the penalties.
See,
Let's finish the
your
penalties.
boys. My Marquise.
One of them's your boy because he plays for Pittsburgh.
That's Marquise. That's who I'm fixing to bring up. Kind of interesting. The Pittsburgh Steelers captain Marquise Pouncey on Thursday announced his intention to make his own choice about what name to put on the back of his helmet. Evidently, Pittsburgh, and I don't, this is where I go, stop while you're here because I don't want to not be a Steelers fan since 70, what? How old was we? When you chose the Dallas Cowboys, same year I chose the Steelers. 76?
6. I was 6 years
Since
old.
76, I've been a Steelers fan, he's been a Cowboys fan. And that's when we met. 76.
No, we met before that.
Well, that would be 5 years old. I was born in 71. 76
I was born
means
in
we were
70.
5. Okay, so you was 5.5. You still got me in trouble, regardless.
I think it was more like 74, 75 when all that started.
Still, even to this day, he's always like, what's this? Like today, rams a fork truck through the wall at work because he felt like doing it. Anyway, we're not going there. Huh?
It worked?
Yes, it worked.
All right.
After you let the wall fall on me the other day.
Yeah.
Anyway, greatest actor outside of television.
We
right
heard.
there.
We heard.
Sitting right there.
Back on topic. Thank you.
All right.
Please and thank you.
But evidently, the Steelers were enforcing that all the players wear a certain name on the back of their helmet, which was Antoine Rose Jr. The team's decision to wear the name of police shooting victim Antoine Rose Jr. on helmets for the 2020 season. Here's what he says. I was given limited information. Of course you were. Because, do we want to go down that road?
Yes.
The Steelers are a...
Liberal.
Is that the word you'd use?
I don't know what you're fixing.
That's where I was going.
Okay, liberal.
The Steelers, that's the organization is
The Roonies.
ran. They're, I wouldn't say liberal,
Far
liberal,
left,
but they're I don't know, just some things I
The
don't agree
money
with.
that owns the Steelers are union steel workers that are traditional.
Used to be
Yeah.
die-hard Democrats,
Yeah.
and there's nothing wrong with that. But when you start saying, hey, this is a police shooting victim, and you don't even give your players the whole story.
Yeah.
And you say, wear this victim. Everybody's going to wear this victim.
That's an
he
issue.
chose it. That's what I don't agree with.
That's an issue.
That's an issue. When you don't do your homework
Yeah.
and find somebody you think's a martyr and go, everybody's putting this name on your helmet.
Yeah.
But yet you'll let them design their own shoes, but you're going to make them wear. You're going to let them stay in the locker room, which is better than coming out and taking a knee. You won't stop them from taking a knee.
Right.
You won't give them another time to protest. There's just a lot of issues. But anyway, and everybody's going to have a different opinion.
Yeah.
I was given limited information, he says, on the situation regarding Antoine, and I was unaware of the whole story surrounding his death and what transpired during the trial following the tragedy. Pouncey, a vocal advocate for the police communities in Pittsburgh and his Florida hometown, wrote in an Instagram post, I should have done more research to fully understand what occurred in its entirety. Make no mistake, I am against racism. And I believe the best thing I can do is to continue helping repair relationships between the police and their communities, which sparked an ideal.
Minus the L.
Nope. An idea. Did
Yeah.
I say ill?
Yeah,
I
you
mean,
did. Idea.
that we've talked about at work. That we want to do.
Yes.
And we are reaching out.
Wholeheartedly.
We are reaching out to 3 people right off the bat. That's a different race and ethnics than we are. And we want to take a timeout from sports. And we want to have a total separate show, nothing to do with sports, but only about healing our community. To a point to where I want to understand, because I hate racism. I hate any form of racism. I hate any form of hate.
All right.
I hate hate.
What? Tell me. There, Reverend. How can you hate hate?
You hate the hate that people have. So you hate hate.
I
Is
very
that what
much
it's called?
dislike the hatred.
Yeah. That's,
I hate the fact that people have so much hatred in their heart.
Yeah.
I'm going to give you a Betty Swane line. You shouldn't hate anything.
You shouldn't know. and I might get red pinned on this, and if I do, I get red pinned. But here's the thing: when you don't know what the other person has gone through in their life, how they were raised, what they had to deal with, all these circumstances that go through, you need to zip it if you don't know the facts. And basically what Pouncey's saying is they didn't give me all the information and said, here's this poor victim, where's his name on here? Well, he done a research.
He obviously went back and thought, well, I'm going to look into this. I want to find out what happened.
Yeah, which is why is not everybody doing that. If the world would do your homework, you would stop so much problems that we have. But here's his quote.
Because most people, and my cousin is so far left it's not funny. He calls everybody on the right sheep.
Mm-hmm. I've heard that, yeah.
But I see more and more the right calling people on the left sheep. And they are. Yeah. Both sides. Generally. Yeah. They read it or they see it and they're like, that's the gospel. I'm using that. Mm-hmm. Instead of doing research.
Yep.
Right.
Just dig a little. Look, has Trump lied? Sure he has. Is Trump cheating on his wife? 100%. Everybody knows it.
We didn't elect him for all that, though.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That
you can say that about every politician that's in office.
Bill Clinton. Everybody knows he cheated on his wife.
So just
what? That's tit for tat.
That's sheep right there. Politicians. That's a sheep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're paying them off to do hush hush to do what you want to do. You're controlling them with money.
Anyway,
so, that a wolf in sheep's
back to Pouncey. He done exactly what he needed to do.
Well, I'm fixing to read what he wrote on Instagram, which he says, I want to personally clarify what transpired this past Monday night in regard to having Antron Rose's name on the back of my helmet. I was given limited information on the situation regarding Antoine, and I was unaware of the whole story surrounding his death and what transpired during the trial following the tragedy. I should have done more research to fully understand what occurred in its entirety. My work with the police, both in Pittsburgh and back home in Florida, is well documented. I don't always feel the need to highlight what I do with the police departments, but also want to make sure they understand I inadvertently supported a cause of which I did not fully comprehend the entire background of the case. I take responsibility for not doing more investigating into something that is sensitive to the community and his family. But it is a lesson learned as it relates to political issues that occur every day in our society. Moving forward, I will make my own decision about what to wear on the back of my helmet. Make no mistake, I am against racism, and I believe the best thing I can do is to continue helping repair relationships between the police and their communities. Systematic racism issues have occurred. Systemic racism, Systemic racism issues have occurred in our country for too long that needs to stop. My focus will continue to be helping the police and our communities, and I will support making any necessary changes to help those efforts. Now, I'm not going to read what the other, because to me, that sums it up.
Yep.
You don't need a reporter that posts this to then interpret what he's just said. That irritates me to death.
Yeah.
Just post what Pouncey said and be done with it. Say, hey, here's a statement released by Pouncey, and go on with the story.
A semi-intelligent person can tell what he's saying by that.
Yeah.
So, did you read the other story that Al Villanueva,
the lineman for Pittsburgh,
chose not to wear the name too, and he wore the name of an armor vet who'd been killed with honor. So,
that stirred some controversy.
So this is me where I get, and I'm the most centered, I guess, of our group politically.
Who's Chicken Bones?
Why do we have to use? Why do we have to use sports or a Monday practice or a Monday night football game to be the weapon or whatever to deliver this? Derrick Henry wore a suit in the pregame that had victims of
this is what I wonder, because, and my thoughts right here, not theirs, hadn't discussed it with them. You think there was a white person on that suit?
I don't know,
because I promise you, and look, I don't mean that to sound racist at all, but And there is injustice to black people. There's been black folks killed that shouldn't have. There've been white folks killed, unarmed white men killed as well. And you don't ever hear about that. I cannot tell you the last time I've seen on the news where Jim Bob Cooter, that's actually a real guy, so I better not use him, but
he did get caught in a closet.
old Jimmy down in the Cove got shot in the face by a cop just because he got mistook for some other hillbilly.
I just think it's...
Because that's not news to most people.
I agree 100%. And to me, if you took it away from the playing field and he did what he did, or, you know, there was like 10 teams stayed in the locker room this week. And to me,
I'd rather that happen.
Yeah. And Derrick Henry was on the sideline.
And
a hand over his heart.
Yep.
Agree or not, there's a time and place for everything.
100%.
But in the spotlight of and I mean, overall, I thought football done a much better job than that sport I won't name right now.
Well, going all the way back to Kaepernick, he wasn't doing it for the right reasons. He wasn't.
He was not. And I know why, and everybody can fight me over Kaepernick. Kaepernick did it for reasons. Kaepernick has things in his personal life that's never been brought to light.
He is shameful. He is a shameful human being.
And I just don't understand, like, even that. Why do you put your players, why did you put those two players in that situation? One an African American, one of obvious Latino background, in a situation where they don't know what, you know.
Well, why would you put any of your players?
Yeah, I mean,
all 53 that's dressing out.
It's the same.
We want you to wear this name. That's all you need to know.
The same way with Breeze.
Yeah.
Breeze made his opinion. They didn't like it, so they forced him to make his own opinion.
No, he caved.
Well, that's the same thing. It's the same thing as putting peer pressure on somebody when you say, hey, you can't think that way.
But he wants to go the extra mile and put a rapist name on his helmet?
Well, that's the whole thing. Here, it's going to the point to where, and this is what we discussed at work. Obviously, everybody needs to do their homework about racism and your communities, police brutality, all that. We're not saying that black lives don't matter. We're not saying that white lives don't matter. We're saying all lives, all human beings on this planet matter. Jesus died for everybody.
I saw
right? And you should love everybody.
That's right. I saw a skit on Facebook, or not a skit, but this lady, she happened to be black, but she was just torching the BLM and the radicals and the looters and all that. She said, if you have to put a color in front of lives matter, you're a racist.
Yeah.
And she's right. All lives matter. Black lives, every single one of them matter.
But here's the problem you
White,
have.
Latin, brown, yellow, whatever. Every single one matter.
My issue is not the statement; it's the organization.
No, the statement's fine.
The statement is great. It's the
BLM
organization ideas.
Absolutely,
that's it. People haven't done their homework to find out what that organization represents and what their mission statement is.
So I challenge everybody, if you've never done it, I want you to, Google two things for me. Google Muhammad Ali, the greatest protester sports has ever known, and see how many photos you find of him with an American flag, either in the background, wrapped around him, or how much you say Muhammad Ali.
And Google Martin Luther King Jr.
Google Martin Luther King. Also Google Tommy Smith and Juan Carlos. To me, the greatest moment in the I get chills thinking about the '68 Olympics. Nothing disrespectful. A simple black glove raised to the heaven. It's the most iconic moment in sports.
It's a big deal.
You know, it's Olympic sports, I guess, to make a statement. I mean, I just got to get the correct right.
Have you seen the Jesse Owens movie?
Yes.
I get so mad watching that because it was well into the 60s, and he still had to. He was being honored. The man was receiving something. A banquet was thrown for him, and he still, because he was black, had to go in the same way the workers went in. That's the most despicable thing
that can happen.
That I would have said no, thank you, and turned around and went home. But him being the class guy he is, he did it. I would.
Well, here,
God!
The Steelers released a statement about this. Basically, we had to make a decision, and we didn't get with all the players. We got with the equipment people. We give them a name. They put it on the helmet. Done. Then here's the problem, and this irritates me probably more than anything in the world. The Steelers front office, all white. You have a white man trying to tell you, a man of color, what you're going to stand for. Again, all wrong.
Well, not.
But if you're going,
they're saying we're better than you. All of
that's what I'm saying. What you have to do as an organization is say, look, this is y'all's protest. Who do you want on it? We got millions of dollars. We can put anybody's name you want on it. But do your research to make sure that what you're doing is not going to make the situation worse than what it is because you don't do the homework behind it.
And that's what I was trying to get at. That was probably better said than I did. Why do you have to tell a grown man the way he wants to speak out?
Yeah.
And that's my team. So
and I'm vehement that there's been some things happen that people were upset with the University of Tennessee, University of Alabama, and I find no fault with a football coach that want to support their players. None.
They have to, or they're. I mean, you can't have mutiny in your locker room. Number one, you can't.
You just need to. Conversation, folks. That's what you need.
If Saban would have said, you know what, and no, you can't blame Saban all the time. Anything he does, somebody's going to see it. Somebody's going to make it public. Oh, my God, Saban's down here walking. Who knows if Saban called the media and said, hey, this is what we're doing. He might not even call them. It might have been some reporter that follows everything they do, calling TMZ, this person, that person, ESPN. Next thing you know, everybody's down there. And they're making a big to-do about it. So we don't know all the facts, and then you probably never will.
Well,
but every coach has to support his team or he'll have mutiny in the locker room. And if you do, you don't run the team runs you.
That's the same thing.
And then you're going to lose your job.
Yeah, same way with Drew Brees.
Exactly.
Why he had to cave.
Exactly.
No. Michael Thomas, I'm not throwing you the ball anymore.
Yeah.
You will be cut in that 50 whatever million that you were going to get the next 2 years. You're not going to get it.
But here's the thing. We're not in the locker room.
No, it would be hard. I don't think. But Breeze done nothing wrong to begin with. And he could have told his players, look, they didn't ask me about racism. They asked me about the flag.
Yeah.
That's my feeling. That's not going to change just because y'all are upset with me.
Think about this. You grow up and you go in elementary school. Every single day, I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States. Every day of your life, you have done the pledge of allegiance to the flag. Most kids our age, their parents were in the military, served in some kind of war. All right, for the most part, somebody in my family has served in the war. I've had family members ruined for life because of ruined for life because of World War II. Yeah, put that down. I don't care. You're gonna find a lot of words I make up, and I really don't care what anybody thinks. But at the same time, every family has been affected by it. Everybody has. But now this generation that's coming in now, who outside Afghanistan,
here's your perfect example.
There's some issues there, but at the same time, it's not like it was in our generation.
Here's an example.
Because hold on one second, let me finish this. Because here's the reason why. Somebody posted a picture today, yesterday on Facebook, and I seen it, and I got first instinct I got infuriated with it. One of the local schools had dude, seriously, it gets old, okay? Just chill for a second. This is serious. You got a classroom, and they have a flag up, rainbow flag. Underneath it, they have a flag, Black Lives Matter. You can't have prayer in school. You can't support the police in school, but you can put a Black Lives Matter flag up and a gay pride flag up.
Yep, saw that.
And there's nothing wrong. They say nothing wrong with that. But they see stuff wrong with, we can't support our police, we can't support our first responders, and you can't have prayer because you're going to offend somebody. The people that you think you're offending are the ones promoting all this, and now our kids are growing up thinking, well, this is what we have. We don't pledge allegiance no more. They took that out. They took prayer out. You don't have to say under God anymore. They've made it up as they go, and then we want to know, well, why are we having these problems with our kids? Well, that's why we talked about this at work. We want to fix this, and there's no way. We have a small platform. Well, we called it a dirt bike ramp, basically. It's not even a platform. We got a small crowd, but we got a crowd. And we got to start somewhere with what we got. And we got a guy coming in Tuesday that we're going to talk to see if he wants to help with that. Is it Tuesday's coming, your buddy? And then we've already talked to a few others, but there has to be so we'll have one show coming up in the future that is no sports. It'll be strictly on community relief.
Sports is still going to be some of the conversation.
Just Tuesday it will be. I'm talking about in the future.
No, I'm talking about in the future as well, because we're going to talk about athletes.
Well, yeah, that part of it. But I mean, it's not based of, we're not going to give scores and updates and that. We're going to talk about, if I have to understand, I've known him since he's 5 years old. Known you for 20-something years. I don't know Randall yet. I'm still learning Randall. All right? So I can't judge Randall by what you've done or whoever, because I'm still learning Randall. Mm-hmm. So I don't judge Randall based on what D-Swane does or Barnett does. And it's like anybody else. Well, your friends that you've known, you know them, and so you understand them. But we don't, until you walk in a man's shoes, you don't know what he's going through when he walks out that door. I don't know your family life sometimes. I don't know if your family's going through issues, Randall's. I don't understand. I don't know that. I don't know D-Swane, what he's faced, up against. So you don't know what's backing people, what's causing the problem.
I agree.
And so until you understand why, if a man grows up in inner city Chattanooga and he can't walk down the street because somebody thinks he stole something, or he looks suspicious because of the color of his skin, and they're automatically classified him as, keep your eyes on him, he's up to something.
That's a problem.
It's a big problem.
It's a huge problem.
How do we stop that?
I don't know how we stop it, but if that being said, if a white male walks into Alton Park, the same thing is said about him. It's the same thing.
It is.
And because you're out of your area. Now, don't get me wrong. I didn't. That out of your area was not intended out of the way. But like, I had to take one of my employees after I got robbed 11 years ago. Had to take her home. Well, she said, drop me off a mile away because you don't want to go. You don't need to go down this road at 11 o'clock at night.
I went through that.
And I was like, well, can you explain? You don't need to know. If you don't know, you don't need to know. So I had to drop her off. She had to walk through that mess. But I could not go. One, I was driving a pickup truck. Two, I'm a white male.
What would her friends thought, her seeing her with you and not know you was helping her, give her a ride? They're going to think she's up to something, or y'all were together,
and even
or something.
The police look at me wrong if I go down there. Because what are you going down there for? Are you going to buy drugs? You going to do something you're not supposed to?
So
it's the same scenario.
I have a friend in Atlanta who is a former college All-American, played at a HBC school. We had this talk about Atlanta, and I was very, very frank one night. He goes, but the reason Randall, you've got 99% of the world you can roam free in.
Yeah, I agree with that.
He said, these folks have grown up in this 2-block neighborhood. Yeah. Most of them has never left this 2-block neighborhood. And he said, it's a war zone.
Mm-hmm. It is.
He goes, I know you don't understand. And he said, you probably never will understand. But it's a different kind of life. Mm-hmm. And that's the one thing I don't think us, middle class, for the most part, understand is there's parts of this country, some parts of it because of their own doing, and I've lived in California, I've lived around, that it's a war zone. It is a flat out war zone. And when you go there, you are the enemy.
You are,
and you are there your skin color, you're either there for drugs, or you're popo.
You're police, yeah.
And that's the only two things they see you as when you walk into it.
Yes, I have the mohawk, but this haircut and me, I look like police.
But we've got to get past
Minus the
that,
mohawk.
and that's what every one of us has said, and that's what you said so passionately. We've got to get to the point where we can have conversation.
You got to. I mean, and that's kind of what we want.
Well, I know we're all on Facebook somewhat, and you can look at, pick your right wing, Candace Owens, Charlie Kirk, they're all going to these rallies or peaceful protest or whatever. And they want to, that's what they're there to do. Now, is it agitating? Probably. Because, specifically for BLM or whatever the cause. And they're like, hey, let's talk. Do you watch Louder with Crowder?
Yeah.
He's got this is, blank is an issue, changed my mind.
Yes.
And he'll do it on street corners, and some people are very willing to talk that don't believe what he believes, but he rarely shows anything where they're getting overly heated or anything. These things with the little blonde-headed girl, I can't think of her name, and Charlie Kirk and some of those other, Candace Owens, they don't want, they say they want to talk or they want to peaceful protest or whatever. They get asked a legitimate question or
they blow up.
Yes, they lose their mind. They're not wanting to talk. And like y'all both have said, that's where it has to start. And my top can blow pretty quick sometimes, but I want to understand some things. Some things I'm not going to listen to because I know it's just crap and you're running your mouth. But real discussion is needed. And more now than ever, because I'll stand by this till my dying day. There's still racism in this world.
Absolutely.
But it ain't as bad as it was back when Georgia won their last national title.
No, if there was, you would see a lot worse violence.
It wasn't as bad then as it was when TV started going into every household.
Right.
So for people to believe, and I don't care what anybody thinks. Again, this is my opinion only. The left is stirring that pot.
I agree.
Period. They are trying to divide this country, and it needs to stop.
It does.
I'm not in the center. I know I'm a little right, but I try to be in the center because I can be progressive on some things. I'm not totally against some of the stuff that the left speaks of. But it's not even become about let's do what's right for the folks. Donald Trump does, at least I know his platform. He said, I'm going to do this, this, and this. Well, what did they say? No, you won't, you can't, you blah, blah, blah. Now they're saying they're mad at him because he's doing exactly what he said he was going to do.
And there is no place in the center anymore. I feel like I am the most politically outcast person. And because if there was a Democratic option this year that I felt secure with,
right,
I would have considered it.
Yes. Well, look at Shapiro. He didn't vote for Trump. And he's one of his biggest defenders.
Yeah.
Because they're so just lost on that side.
Yeah. I mean, if you had a progressive candidate on either side that was somewhere that the debate could be in the middle, it would be better. But what we have is two extremes of two extremes.
Yes.
And, and in the world of sports, and it should start in sports. That's what I don't get. It should start here and go out. This should be unifying and a uniting front, not a dividing front.
Right.
That's what I don't get. Why is this?
Yeah, why I'm with you. Well, because look, we know Trump's the most polarizing, even more so than Obama. If you can believe that. He's more polarizing as a president.
Absolutely.
So, the hate, just pure hate for the guy. And look, he's arrogant. He's New York through and through. But he's done a pretty good job in a lot of ways.
I agree.
And he's helped a lot of people, and the economy had gotten better before the pandemic. And look, before anybody loses their mind, I understand that it has cost lives. But electricity costs lives every single year. So, if you're trying to avoid anything that can take your life, the Amish will probably, and still, you got to chop wood and stuff there. You can die doing that.
Do you really want to give me something sharp? I mean, there's some back to that.
There's always much conversation that we can do with this topic.
Yes.
We're going to take a break real quick. When we come back, we're going to talk about the 2021 class Hall of Famers and who deserves to be in and who doesn't.
I'm going to give you a hint.
Yeah, there you go. We'll be back. Stay with us right after this.
High Def Detailing specializes in restoring the look of your vehicle to that new vehicle look. No detail is missed, turning your dirty ride into a ride to show off. Custom packages that everyone can afford. A wash, wax, polish, detail, shampoo, and more. If you care about your ride, then call High Def Detailing today. 423-883-6888. That's 423-883-6888.
Brought to you by the fine folks at Gary Thacker Insurance over at 2382 Battlefield Parkway in Fort Oglethorpe. You can reach Gary and the gang over there at 706-866-8283. Summit Rental and Sales down at 5012 Battlefield Parkway in Fort Oglethorpe. You can reach Todd and the crew at 706-841-0777. River City Athletic Fields. They're the title sponsor for our top 10 list, and they're just a bunch of good guys over that way. Alex Vaughn and the crew at River City Athletic Fields make some of the finest playing surfaces this side of the Mississippi. Phil's Primetime Pizza down in beautiful Chickamauga, Georgia. You can reach them at 706-375-4448. Kevin and the crew make some of the finest Italian food around. Until you've had a lunch combo with a couple of good slices of pizza and a bag of Funyuns and a Dr. Pepper, you hadn't lived. Greg Payne over at Summit Funding. Loan officer for all your home loan and refinance needs at 423-645-9404. That's our good friend Greg Payne. Chattanooga Flower Market, 8016 East Sprainer Road over in Chattanooga at 423-899-2440 or ChattanoogaFlowerMarket.com. They put together some of the most beautiful bouquets and floral arrangements anywhere in the city of Chattanooga, and they do offer same-day delivery. So if you get in trouble with your wife, you can make a call to them, and they'll take care of you. Hot Shots Cheerleading, the Hot Shots All-Stars over at 117 Heron Street in Fort Oglethorpe. You can reach them at 423-509-9732. Whether your child is a gymnast, a tumbler, a cheerleader, if you want to make them a better athlete, send them to Hot Shots. Choo Choo Barbecue of Chickamauga. Jeff Beagles and the crew at 12960 U.S. Highway 27 down in Chickamauga, Georgia. You can reach them at 706-375-7675. And folks, if you like barbecue, this is the place for you. The smell of that place is absolutely heavenly. You walk in, you want to chew your arm off, so it doesn't get any better. And they are also the title sponsor of our Friday Night Scoreboard.
We're back on there now. Go ahead and ask.
Harry Dog, what exactly, and me being a Florida fan, I'm guessing that's directed at me, what am I delusional about exactly?
Here's the thing. With this new format, we're learning everybody's names, and everybody has nicknames or whatever on here. So we this is going to be part of it.
Mike and Hat, for example. Mike and Hat.
Yep.
We know you are confused.
Here's why. If you look at our logo, where is
Are you really
right
gonna?
there?
You're not gonna leave it.
to the.
Mysterious.
Yes, we can. If you want to, that's cool.
I think that's better.
All right.
If you want to.
The class of 2021. Mike and Hat. D-Swane. Here are your nominees. And we're going to go around the table to see who's in, who's out, who you think is first bout Hall of Famers. Defensive back, Charles Tillman.
I say
Linebacker. Hold on. I'm going to read all the lists, then we're going to go back. Linebacker, Gerard Mayo.
Another Tennessee boy.
Defensive lineman, Kevin Williams. Defensive lineman, Justin Tuck. Defensive lineman, Jared Allen. Offensive lineman, Logan Mankins. Offensive lineman, one of the coolest names ever, DeBrickshaw Ferguson. Tight end, Heath Miller. Wide receiver, Roddy White. Wide receiver, Wes Welker. Running back, Steven Jackson. And let's see, who else is it? Woodson, Charles Woodson. Who is the Johnson? They don't give me his name. It's chopped off.
Calvin
Johnson, and then Peyton Manning.
So we're supposed to remember all those names.
No, we're going to go back through them, but I kind of read them all. So Charles Tillman, first bout, no. Yes or no?
No.
I don't think he's a first ballot, but I think he will be in.
All right, why would you think he would be in? What's the credit that says?
He's a beast defensive back who stripped the ball more than anybody, caused so many fumbles. Peanut.
Gerard Mayo.
No, his career was cut too short.
Yeah, I say no as well.
Kevin Williams.
Who is he?
No,
Cowboys.
No, it can't be him.
No.
That's
he's
Calvin,
still
ain't it? Isn't it? Or Kelvin?
I don't even know who that is.
So we're going to say no. Justin Tuck.
He'll get in.
I do too.
He'll get in the Hall of Fame.
I think you have to have
I don't
Tuck,
think
yes.
he gets in this year, but he'll get in.
Him lining up opposite of
Michael Strahan for a while,
Jason
and then
Pierre-Paul.
yeah, exactly.
I think he's
and he had both those Super Bowls. He was fantastic.
Yeah. The man.
Yes.
Yeah.
Defensive lineman Jared Allen.
I think he'll get in. He led the league in
first
sacks.
bout?
No.
He roped him like you wanted Reinicus to do the other day.
And he went. Didn't he go to Idaho as well? Didn't he?
I think he's an Idaho boy.
Don't know off the top of my head.
Idaho.
Or at least he's from Idaho. I know he has some affiliation with Idaho. And he come out of nowhere. You know, when he was with Kansas City, he wasn't that good. He goes to Minnesota.
And was just a beast.
Was a freak show. So, yeah, I think he gets in eventually. I don't think it'll be this year. Unless they have to take a certain number.
No, I think you have to, in your first ballot, you have to reach a certain percentage of all ballots.
Okay.
And then you go to the Veterans Committee. And in a minute, when we get to wide receivers, I'll talk about why I don't think.
Yeah, none of them.
Maybe Calvin Johnson's. I doubt. I would think Roddy White before Calvin Johnson.
Logan Mankins.
Yes.
Without a doubt, probably the best lineman of the 2010 era. Won about 4 Super Bowls. So
Yeah.
DeBrickshaw Ferguson.
great player, but bad teams.
So no first round.
No.
Heath Miller.
Nope, was an excellent tight end, both blocking and receiving, but he didn't ever make a splash like Travis Kelce and Rod Gronkowski and even Jason Witten.
Yeah, as a tight end, you got to be that to get in.
You have to be that. Yeah, those 3 names I just named may be the only tight ends.
I know the last one to get in was Dicka, and that was like 30 years
Heath
later.
Miller, was that
Gonzalez
Steelers?
got in.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
He'll get. He's got a Super Bowl.
Who?
Heath Miller. So he'll get in first bout because of the rings, if nothing else.
I'm willing to bet you whatever you want to bet.
Like I said, I don't know who all's voting on that.
Tony Gonzalez got in. He has 0 rings.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But if you look at what we have right now, we
Tony
just have
Gonzalez was way better than Heath
Way
Miller.
better
He
than
didn't
Heath
get
Miller,
in the
yeah.
first ballot.
way better.
Yeah. When
Roddy White.
He'll get. I'm sure me and Randall agree. He's going to get in. He's going to get in fairly quick.
Yeah.
But not
He ain't getting in first ballot.
No, and let me just give you a name I would take off of this list before Roddy White. These are all receivers not in the Hall of Fame. So let me say let's put Drew Pearson in before we put Roddy White in, or let's put Cliff Branch in before we put Roddy White
Branch,
in.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Wes Welker,
No, and he'll never get in.
No.
5 rings.
He could have 25 rings. He's not getting in.
His work just.
He caught-
Brady's boy, 5 rings.
And he caught for Peyton.
Wes Welker will come in the same class Brady does. And you may have, when Brady retires, it may take Wes that long. How could you say no if you got Brady?
He's not getting in before the Veterans Committee. They may put him in. He's not going to get voted in. He's no chance.
So if I say the name Jimmy Smith or Wes Welker, who are you voting in?
I would vote in Jimmy Smith. He was great for Jacksonville for 10 years.
How about Sterling Sharp?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah. If his neck, that dude would have records if his neck hadn't caused him.
All those guys, Otis Taylor, the best.
Kansas City, yeah.
All those receivers are waiting to get in the Hall of Fame. And at one
you
point,
think Wes Welker's going to leapfrog any of those names? No.
At one point, we had Terrell Owens, Reggie Wayne,
Marvin Harrison,
Randy Alls, all waiting for spots in the Hall. Wide receiver is the hardest position probably to get in.
T.O. got in, didn't
he? He did.
He did.
But he didn't go to the.
No, he did it at UTC.
He did at UTC.
Say that one more time.
He did not go to the actual ceremony. He went to UTC and done it.
In only T.O. fashion.
He's such a tool bag.
That's my quarterback.
That was not him. That's shooting.
No, that was
Schuster.
Terrell crying when they were making fun of Tony Romo, and he goes, "That's my quarterback."
So did Schuster. What's his name? Juju.
Juju Schuster. I call him Schuster.
Juju Smith.
He said the same thing.
When
he kept crawling.
Yeah.
Very dramatic.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's my quarterback. I was like, man, cut that out.
To me, the greatest injustice any position is that Sterling Sharp is not in the Hall of Fame.
Agreed.
He had 8 great years before a neck injury.
He was forced out, where Calvin Johnson walked away.
Yes.
Running back Steven Jackson.
Nope. No chance. He'll never be in the Hall of Fame.
Definitely not first ballot, but I don't think he should.
Charles Woodson, first ballot.
Absolutely.
He's gonna be. I've never been a Woodson fan ever since he won the Heisman and Peyton didn't. Not a Tennessee fan. Peyton Manning should have won the Heisman every single day.
But
ESPN manufactured
TV ratings.
The 29th best option of that year.
We all know it was a Big Ten.
If you're going to say two-way player, Champ Bailey should have walked away with that Heisman.
Way before.
Because he played 40% of the offensive plays. Charles Woodson played 13 offensive plays the entire year.
What did me and you talk about right before we left today about the Big Ten and the Pac-12, and you said, back in their heyday, maybe.
Yeah.
That's when that was all manufactured in their heyday.
But, and Peyton done himself no favors in that Heisman vote. I was at the game in 98 on senior day. He had the worst football game of his career outside of Florida against Vandy on national TV right before the Heisman vote.
You know what Spurrier said about that? When they asked him, he's like, I sent my vote in the day I got it, received it.
Yeah.
He said, Peyton Manning doesn't have to play it down this year, and he's the best player in college football.
He was a great ambassador. He was a Tennessee player, but that kind of person is like, you can name a few people. Archie Manning was at Ole Miss. A great ambassador for college football.
What we were talking about today was, the Big Ten, and we'll dive into this more, is announced. They're going to play football.
Yes.
And I said on this show 2 months ago, whenever they said they weren't playing, I said as long as the SEC and the ACC don't follow suit, they're going to play football this year. And it was a power play. That's all it was.
And then they found out.
They wanted to show, we're the big dogs. Sorry, Bubba. No, you're not. And that's when I said, in their heyday, 40 years ago, Bo Schembechler, Woody Hayes.
And that's why Woodson got the Heisman.
They probably were.
SEC was not dominant back then.
But now,
so
if you're not an SEC, you're just You're riding in coach.
But
You're
look what it took for SEC. Now, SEC was great before they become dominant. We all knew SEC's definitely the league. And I'm talking, 4 or 5 years before the whole country started saying, wow. But look what it took. It took Alabama, of all teams, being a powerhouse.
So let's go one step, because I think it goes deeper. Who's the most dominant conference in college basketball?
ACC.
ACC. Maybe Vanderbilt's the most dominant baseball team in the country right now. Arkansas definitely is the most dominant track program in the country. I guess UConn is the most dominant women's program.
For
Tennessee
sure.
was
There's
second.
no guess.
Yeah.
5 years ago, it'd be a different conversation.
Tennessee, Baylor is the only two teams that's in the conversation besides UConn.
Tennessee's not in the conversation anymore.
Not now,
historically.
Historically.
yes.
What?
Definitely.
I'd
say UConn.
You can still
It is UConn. I mean,
it
without a
is
doubt.
currently.
Yeah.
But historically, you can still, if you want to say Tennessee, I'm not going to be mad about it.
Pat Summitt built
because
that sport.
we don't know what is going to happen to UConn after Geno goes.
Absolutely.
But yes, Baylor is the one that come out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And they're the real deal Holyfield.
And
South Carolina now.
And Notre Dame.
With Dawn Staley.
Yeah. Women's basketball. Baseball.
Muffet.
Mississippi State is one of the traditional
Mississippi State and LSU.
baseball teams in the world. I mean, and South Carolina's won a World Series, I believe. And
Florida's won.
World Series.
Well, no, South Carolina won back to back.
And Florida's won one. And Arkansas is the most dominant track program in
And
the
then
history.
golf, you got Georgia, Florida.
Yeah.
So what does
women's
the Big Ten
softball?
dominate?
Florida's dominant. UT's really
Rowing.
good.
Nothing.
Rowing.
Say
Probably
again.
no one's
Archery.
What is what?
The Big Ten dominated it.
Wrestling.
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 Hands down.
Nebraska.
No.
Minnesota.
Pick one. Penn State.
What I'm
Michigan.
saying, Nebraska
Iowa.
and Minnesota have great wrestling traditions.
Yeah.
Minnesota.
Brock Lesnar.
Yes.
Minnesota.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Steiner twins.
Iowa.
Or the Steiner
Iowa's
brothers.
great.
Michigan.
Yes, Michigan.
Yeah, the
Minnesota,
Big Ten
Iowa,
is
Wisconsin's good.
big time
Minnesota's.
wrestling. You're right.
It's wrestling.
Yeah, Iowa.
And it's
Iowa
not
that's
close.
big for wrestling. I believe it's
UTC.
Iowa, yes.
The Southern Conference is closer
You're right.
to the Big Ten in wrestling than the SEC
Matter of
is.
fact,
They are.
UTC is a traditional top 20, 15, 20.
Absolutely.
Well, it was because when we did this show with Pistol Pez, when he did the show Takedown.
Rest in peace, Pistol Pez.
Yeah. Great guy. One of
Love
my
that
customers.
dude.
Loved him.
Have always loved him. Good or bad, whether he
Yeah.
was a baby
But
face
the
or
Pistol
heel.
Man.
Put
yeah.
a smile on your face
Yeah.
no matter what.
He did. He
He's-
come out there shaking that booty and
Yeah,
just
love
doing
it.
his thing.
The Pistol Man was a character all the way till the day he died. He was one of my favorite customers that I had. That
And
we
he
did
went
the
to the old
Takedown show.
McCullen gym. It was inside that trophy case. He's a big time superstar. at
Here's
UTC.
here's
Notre
what I
Dame,
got.
too.
Yeah.
Here's what I got at home that I got from Pistol Pez before he died. He gave me a reel-to-reel of his wrestling match in 1965 at Notre Dame, and I haven't yet, other than pull it out and kind of hold it to the light. I would like to get that put on DVD, but that was kind of cool. But he introduced me to that wrestling, the sport of wrestling that you were talking about that's dominant, that no one even covers. No one covers. Nobody covers wrestling, period.
No, real wrestling, not wrestling.
That's what I'm talking about. Real
Yes.
amateur wrestling, collegiate wrestling. Nobody's covering it. Nobody.
And even in high school, Chattanooga is kind of a hotbed for
Yeah,
for
Macaulay.
sure.
Well, see, we always think about the Macaulay Invitational, but you don't think about
Saudi,
all the other. The Red Bank Lions have a
Cleveland,
dominant tradition.
Bradley.
Yes,
Bradley.
Bradley.
Ringo had
Saudi
a stud
Daisy.
team.
Saudi Daisy had a
Sa-
killer program for
Hickson,
years.
when Vandergriff was there, and
Yeah.
it's still good. Hickson's wrestling team is still good.
So, who's interested in covering wrestling this year?
I wouldn't mind doing it because my middle daughter Grayson, her little boyfriend Trevor, wrestles for Hickson, and he's good.
Don't they have like the Southern Invitational at some point in Chattanooga?
Yeah, they'll have
High
it.
schools.
I think they'll have it at McCollum.
Yeah.
So we need to cover that, but that's kind of where we're at now. Calvin Johnson, first ballot.
No, like you heard the log jam. He's
Yeah.
not leapfrogging everybody.
No, it's
If
great.
he does, it's a shame because he walked like we were saying.
He has 2 playoff games in his whole resume.
Yeah,
Drew Pearson played in, 4 Super Bowls?
And won a couple of them.
Cliff Branch played in the Super Bowl. And
Cliff Branch won 2 Super Bowls.
Yeah, and Henry Ellard, we all forget. God,
for the Rams, all 5'9" of him, that dude was hoss. He was a hoss.
I wouldn't want to be a wide receiver trying to get in the Hall of Fame.
No. Steve Largent, who was great. Took him, 5 years?
Yeah.
And the last one, first ballot, Hall of Famer.
D-Swane. Yeah.
The greatest
Peyton Manning.
quarterback of all times.
He's my GOAT. But, I mean, and we can make a big argument for it.
And we're fixing to. That's where we're fixing to go.
I'm down with that. Because I think he's great. And he would be on my Rushmore, but he's not far left.
Yeah.
Sorry.
All right. Peyton Manning, first ballot Hall of Famer.
Absolutely.
Why?
Because he's great.
Tell me why
5
you say
MVP,
just saying great.
MVPs,
5 MVPs,
2 Super Bowls.
2 Super Bowls.
What was that? Was he?
He made players better. Now, that does contradict a little bit of what I said earlier about having Marvin Harrison and then Reggie Wayne. But it wasn't just – look at Dallas Clark as a perfect example. He had great hands. But when he left and went to wherever –
well, horrible.
He wasn't near as good.
Same thing with Edgerrin James.
Correct. And he ran that mouth and said, I'm number 1, not Peyton and Harrison. And everybody knew he was number 3.
Yeah.
And he should have been happy being number 3. But Marvin Harrison was great. Marvin Harrison would have been great no matter who was throwing him the ball.
Yeah.
All right. What else? Is that it?
Was he Super Bowl MVP twice also?
No, once.
Super Bowl MVP.
Now
he's 1 and 2 of all stats.
And now he's 3.
3.
Yeah, because
Aaron Rodgers come in.
First ballot.
Brady.
So
Brady Breeze.
Yeah.
I think he played.
Brady. Peyton.
I think he played for one really great coach, and Tony Dungy was one good coach, and Tony Dungy.
Tony was a great man.
Really good coach. Great man. Really good coach.
Yeah.
And then he played for 2 really bad coaches that he got to the Super Bowl. And then he played for another okay coach that he won a Super Bowl with. But my reason for saying that he's the GOAT was football was dead in Indianapolis. He resurrected a franchise from the ground. You couldn't fill that building. I went up there in '98 to the old RCA Dome. You could stand outside and buy a ticket for $5. And I mean, not an upper deck ticket. You just stand a good seat. If it wasn't for Peyton Manning, that franchise had already packed up again and left. And the other thing is, I think Montana, to me, had 2 of the greatest. I think it's a conversation with, and if you picked any of the 4, I wouldn't argue with them. Elway, Montana, Brady, Manning. And there's different points to each one of them. For me, it was just that Peyton was the ultimate field general, did more with less on the sidelines than I think the other coaches did.
Omaha.
Peyton, yes. 100%. If he doesn't go in unanimous, they're doing it because the whole Babe Ruth garbage, which I still can't get over Mariano Rivera being the first under. Yeah. That irks me to no end. But
what would, play devil's advocate, what would keep Peyton out of first round?
His forehead. Golly. I'm just kidding. I can't.
He is after, because I mean he's been a little shady in some aspects of life since football.
And he left horrible. I want to think, as much as I love Peyton, that last impression he left on everybody, even with the Super Bowl, was just crap. I mean, he was bad.
What did he throw for 89 yards, but he had one good drive. That's what they harped on. I do remember that. That's all they harped on. Well, he had one good drive, and that's all it took. But kind of sells out Papa John, who made him a gazillion dollars. Those is freaking college head coach under the bus.
Let's go with this a little bit. Keep going. Go back to the Papa Johns. Tell me how he threw, in your opinion, how he threw Papa John.
Certainly didn't stand up. Papa John said nothing wrong. Was it a little distasteful? Probably, but the dude's a billionaire. Who cares?
And he lost his own company.
Lost his own company because of it, and Peyton was nowhere to be found. And he did the same thing. And I get the whole Haslam connection. He's wanting to. We all know he wants to own an NFL team someday.
Peyton will own
And he will.
And he will.
Him, Eli, and his daddy, if daddy's around long enough.
And probably already missed a chance to own the Tennessee Titans. I didn't.
Yeah. But
who would he pick? Who would he own?
I'm sure he'd like to own the Titans. Or the Colts.
He could have got a 10% stake in the Titans when he signed with Denver.
Yeah.
And he turned it down. So 10% of the Titans was a chunk of change.
Why would you turn it down?
Because he couldn't
Because
win.
he didn't think he'd win a Super Bowl. And no, he just wanted to win a Super Bowl. That's it.
I mean, if you want to argue his legacy, it was that he's the only quarterback that's kind of done what he did at two different teams. I mean, there's been people win Super Bowls with two different teams. Who was the other one that did it? Maybe there's not. I know he's the only person to take
Young. Did Young do it?
No.
Steve Young and Vince.
Jim Plunkett, did he win
Steve
one
Young
before
was always
Oakland?
49ers. Vince Young was always Titans.
No, I
don't
don't
think Warren Moon.
Somebody took
Warren
other
Moon didn't win
teams.
any Super Bowls.
So yeah, somebody took another team,
Williams.
but I think Peyton's the only one that's ever won one.
The first black quarterback, Redskins.
Oh,
Would he play
I know.
with anybody else?
Somebody took
Steve
one.
Williams.
Who was that?
Kurt Warner.
Kurt Warner, yeah.
Oh yeah, Kurt
Yeah,
Warner did
yeah,
the
yeah,
Cardinals and the Rams.
Yeah, that's
It was
the one I'm
Card- it was
thinking of.
him, Yeah,
But I
but
mean,
they didn't win.
and if
Look, Peyton's getting in. We're just trying to debate. But
and we're going to be there. Me and Anna Lee Peyton will be there for Hall of Fame
What?
Day.
What just happened?
I still say Peyton's probably number 3 all time in my eyes.
Give me a 1 and 2.
First, I want to say Elway and Brady are not in my top 5. But I can't stand John Elway. I think he's trash. He is a garbage human being, and he didn't do anything over exceptional until Terrell Davis got there.
And that's true.
Go ahead, D-Swane. Tell us who
Peyton has
your
won 2
top
Super Bowls with
5
those
quarterbacks of all time.
Aaron
are.
Rodgers, hands down, the absolute best player to ever put his hands under another man's butt ever.
You were right.
We had a pregame bet that I didn't take.
He didn't take it.
That I said, he said, D-Swane will say Peyton Manning's best. So I'm going to know one to say Aaron Rodgers.
I got a little man crush on Aaron Rodgers.
And he will say Brett Favre.
Yeah, and I said Aaron Rodgers or Brett Favre, so he'll say.
I said Brett Favre for a while before, and then I leaned towards Peyton because Favre.
Let's call him Favre.
Brett Favre got to throw to Sterling Sharp for what, 2 years?
Yeah.
Now name me another Hall of Famer he threw to.
You can't.
Because he didn't. Keith Jackson is a tight end who's borderline, but he was there for 2 years as well, 3 maybe.
And for me, it's even hard as a Peyton fan. I named my daughter is named after Peyton. To not say Brady and 9 Super Bowls, I mean it's a thin argument when you start arguing against that. And the only argument you have is Belichick is the reason. And I guess we might be.
And round 1 went to Belichick.
Absolutely.
But Aaron Rodgers does things that not any outside of Steve Young, not a quarterback we've seen can do.
I agree.
And he's got the best arm with everything else. Now, there's been McGuire's brother, Dan, could throw it forever. What's his name at quarterback at LSU?
Jamarcus Russell.
Had a bazooka. Jeff George, cannon.
Flacco had a good arm.
Flacco has a really good arm.
Jeff George could make throws I've never seen a human make.
Well, Randy Moss said that. He come out and said he'd have to wait for Randall Cunningham's balls. He said, I don't wait for
not
Jeff
the
George's.
quarterback. Yeah.
Right. But when they were all at Minnesota and Randall got hurt, they bring George in. He's like, I don't have to wait no more. I got to go get it. But everything encompassing being a quarterback.
Did I take that picture?
2 years ago against Dallas, or 3 years ago now. That throw on the sideline that ended up beating the Cowboys. Name 2 other people that could make that. He is literally running against his body, going out of bounds,
Complete
and
back
throws
foot.
it in a gnat's butt.
Yeah. Complete back foot.
Yes.
Off balance back foot. No,
What
but
about the one he threw? The Hail Mary threw 70 yards in the air with both feet off the ground.
Yeah. Yeah.
Best, and he can run.
Yeah, he's very athletic.
He doesn't run stupid. He's especially earlier in his career. He was like Russell Wilson.
Yeah. Who I think is going to end up in the top 10.
I didn't take the bet though.
I hate to say it, but each year
he gets closer and closer.
I like him more, and I like him more and more.
So I got a funny Peyton story I got to share since we're here, because everybody knows I'm a Tennessee alum and go to games, except I'm hot about this year. I did get me some Texas A&M tickets, but
I did see where you said Coach Fulmer. I'd have called him Fat Phil and said, "Look, Biggin."
Yeah, that was
hashtag Phil Fulmer.
I did tag his tag him. Sorry about that.
He's heated.
Y'all gonna get me fired up again. But when Peyton came to Knoxville, I was a complete Brandon Stewart mark. Do you remember?
Sure you were.
Tennessee signed.
So was everybody.
Tennessee signed the number 2 quarterback in the nation, Brandon Stewart. Number 3 quarterback, Peyton Manning. I was, you know what? They just brought Archie's kid up here for publicity.
You know what else? That's where his shadiness started.
Yeah, he locked Brandon Stewart out of the...
He would lock him out, or he would lie.
Yeah.
I'm just going to the room, and he'd go to the film room.
But I had a friend of mine whose little brother was an equipment manager, and I got to go to the sidelines a bunch in the late 90s. I was standing on the sideline Peyton's freshman year against Mississippi State, and I'm looking at him throw that out pass, you know, the down and out 15 ball. You throw it about 40 yards off the field.
Sure.
And it was his first start. And I'm on the sideline, got a picture of it. And I looked up, and Peyton threw it, and he threw it 40 yards on a rail. And I went, well, I was wrong. I mean, that moment I knew.
But I thought Peyton Stewart or Brendan Stewart had a big arm too.
He had a great arm, but I didn't think Peyton's arm was that good.
Okay.
And then the other story is a Favre story. Have you heard Jerry Glanville tell the story of what he used to do with Favre? See, Favre admitted that he was still not in a great place in life when he was in Atlanta.
For his rookie year?
Yeah.
That's sad.
And he was showing up hungover basically every day.
Right.
So Glanville wouldn't play him, but at every end of the practice, they would bring Favre out and let him throw a football into the upper deck of the old Georgia Dome. And said that's how they ended practice for the whole year. They'd go, said Glanville would shout, "Hey, Mississippi, end us." Favre comes out, stands at the 25-yard line, and tries to throw the ball into upper deck. And they said he did it more times than not.
Wow.
So that's how strong Brett Favre's arm was.
That's why he was my guy for a long time. He was just, and you can call him gunslinger all you want.
No.
All right, we
have a cannon like that and say,
got to do some editing on this show.
We have completed our time frame allotment for this show. Closing comments, Mike.
A-hole.
Yeah. I'll just pass after that one tonight. Excuse me, Lord. I'm a little heated. I've been a season ticket owner for 26 years. I let it come out sideways a couple of times. And if you're a Facebook friend, you know exactly how today about 4 o'clock.
Yep.
I went to get a Monster and some pork rinds, and I sat down in the break room, and somebody had sent me a link to Alabama tickets if I wanted some. And buddy, it was from an Alabama website, and there was a ton of Tennessee tickets on there, and I probably need to go start untagging some people.
Voiced your opinion.
I strongly voiced my opinion, and y'all, I'm glad you don't have Twitter, because it was even worse there, because I tagged the official University of Tennessee website.
Well, you should.
You should have. Absolutely.
Now, speaking of which, when you talk about tagging the official website, it was brought to our attention this week that you two boys, was it the audio or video, was on NFL now?
All right. So, my friend in Nebraska, John, played fantasy football with him for 20 years. John Bruner was watching NFL Now, and they have a fans comment section. He calls me, and I sent y'all the
Yeah, we heard it.
Yeah, he's going crazy. And I'm like, I thought he was drunk. I'm just gonna be honest.
Well, I thought he was too.
I thought he was drunk.
I told Dan, I think he's drunk, but it's all right.
But he says he quoted a conversation D-Swane and I had on this show, word for word. And you remember we talked about the Bucks, and how we felt they wouldn't make the playoffs.
Yep.
So somebody gave somebody her audio, and it ended up on NFL Network. Evidently,
We are famous.
So I'm taking it, and it's on the resume now.
Well, when I
I
brought
walked
it
in
up,
and quit my job yesterday after you said, I was like, I've been on ESPN, kiss my butt, I'm out.
when I brought it up, I was quickly told, me and you was not.
Oh yeah.
Them two were on it.
Well,
That it was, and he told me. He come straight out and said, "I don't need you anymore."
Which is why I said, Beyonce, Destiny's Child.
And here's the whole thing. And I thought, there would never be a Beyonce if it wasn't. And he threw me under the bus. It's like, I don't need you now. I got what I needed. You're done. Well, 5 iron.
Peace out. Peace out, Girl Scout.
Basically calls me 5 iron. You're fine.
we have 30 seconds of fame. That's enough for me.
That's awesome though. Still, nonetheless.
It is. Final.
Yeah. Shout out to my cousin. I call him Bobby. He goes by Charles.
Makes sense.
It makes no sense whatsoever.
His real name's Phil.
Well, yeah, but you're kin to everybody.
Yeah,
So.
but
He's got more cousins than cousins.
he boards within the next little bit for the Navy. He will be boarding for Senior Chief Petty Officer.
Oh, nice.
Senior Chief, basically. And that's a huge accomplishment. I'm super proud of him. So that's my closing comments. Shout out to Charles Bobby MacArthur.
And evidently Anna Lee wanted to be on camera.
Yeah, she did. That's all right.
Anna Lee.
We haven't sung tonight.
No, we haven't.
No!
Hey, can I
While
plug?
you're there.
Can I plug East Ridge, Quatcha County, Friday night on 93.3 Country Roads?
Country roads, take me home to the place I belong. West Virginia, Mountain Mama, take me home. Country roads.
We do not have the rights for that music.
Nor do we want the rights to that music. And if you've
But
heard
we
us
dig
sing,
John Denver. That's not his only hit.
No.
One of these days we're going to break into another one.
Since Hack give his closing comment, you're next. I probably shouldn't have done that.
Gordon Lee, Lafayette tomorrow night. Hope to see a bunch of y'all there. Mars, that's Megan Matthews. To those that may not know, thank you for everything you do for the show and
Absolutely.
for us. I'm pretty passionate about this big divide that's going on, and I want to do whatever we can to bridge the gap with anybody that has issues with what they believe as opposed to what we believe. And I'm all for sitting down with whoever, and like he said, Tuesday my guy that's coming in, y'all gonna get a kick out of this dude because he's phenomenal.
Collegiate athlete as well as pro athlete.
He was a professional athlete for 15 years.
Yeah, so definitely want to tune in Tuesday for that.
And the most down-to-earth, humble dude you're ever going to meet. You'd never know that he got paid a dime to do anything other than work. He's an awesome, awesome man.
Awesome.
He's a great dad. I love the dude. He's awesome.
Can't wait.
But I'm going to keep saying it until we see some relief from this just crap that's going on. Go to church. Pray for your president. Pray for the left as well. You pray for those looters. They need Jesus in their life. They need something to say, you know what? This is ignorant.
Mm-hmm.
A Latino dude got killed by a cop 2 or 3 days ago. But you know why? Because he was running at the cop with a knife. I hate to see anybody get killed by anybody. And the thing is, that cop probably hated killing him more than anything. But that cop also probably has a family. I'm the same way. I'm going home to my family.
My life is more valuable than this life at this point in time.
That's right. When you,
It is.
I saw something today where it was a meme or something that said, if you break into my house, you better be prepared to meet Jesus. And the comment below, so you're saying your possessions are more important than someone's life?
Yes.
The response back is no. My possessions are more important to that person than their life.
Mm-hmm.
Because they breaking into somebody's house.
Mm-hmm. It's not about the possessions at that point. It's about your family members.
Exactly right.
Who cares about possessions? They're material.
Yeah,
but
that's
my family is more important than your life at this point in time.
No question. So just get in the Bible. Pray. Another thing I'll say, I sin every single day.
Trust me, I work with him.
I cuss, evidently.
Enough.
I get called
This is serious.
names.
This is serious.
Sirs, it's terrible.
He got a little butt hurt a while ago.
He
Mr.
did.
The oldest millennial on earth
He did.
right here.
No, I didn't get butt hurt. It was just, it's a serious thing.
And yeah, I was not being serious just then. Yeah, that's what I thought. See, I can take it though.
Jack.
What's he talking about?
I can take it, friend.
It's our closing comment.
That's right, and it's serious. I love these dudes I work with. I mean, we have a blast before, during, and after. And I just hope that you guys get as much out of it as we do. And I hope that come Tuesday, you'll be back, and hopefully we'll have a few new people, a few new faces to entertain or irritate. Because I know personally, I'm good at both.
Me too.
That's about it. Oh, I do have one thing for BB, if I may. Keith Perry says you need to battle more for Georgia when those conversations come up.
Wow, it's
He's
hard
starstruck
to,
looking at you.
It's hard to though when I'm a realist.
And that's what I told him.
And like, if all the eggs were in our basket in our favor, then I would argue.
Oh, if I just said Georgia sucks, their defense isn't going to be good, you would be able to put me on blast.
Yeah.
But our defense is not bad. So, but
No,
our
defense is good.
Is not going to.
The offense is who knows what they are.
Yeah, I'm a realist though. I love Georgia through and through. I'm a Bulldog, but I can't argue our point when we have no point to argue.
Here you go.
We're all going to settle it on the field soon enough.
We are.
That's right. Folks, we do appreciate you tuning in and watching the show that is the train wreck of social media, and we make no bones about it. We do, I look at this show that we done, I consider everything went smooth. We didn't freeze up like we did on Facebook and we do apologize for that last Tuesday, where everything, and we had several weeks in a row of that happening. Well, during this trial and error last night of me trying to figure out why YouTube was doing it, I found out why YouTube was doing it. I found out why Facebook was doing it. And we actually could fix that problem now. So we've probably found our home here on YouTube Live for a while, and we're going to see how it goes. So if you get the chance, share it, like it, and subscribe to it.
Yes.
Hit the bell so you get notifications when we go live, because we need 1,000 followers to make this thing go real time. And that's kind of what we're looking for. So we'll have a bigger audience here. We'll have better quality here. We're going to upgrade it just a little bit more. We have a special guest coming Tuesday. We're excited about that special guest, but also we're excited about healing the community and the sports fans and everybody coming together as one group. Don't forget your high school games tomorrow night. My man down there, Mike, will be at that's
Eastridge.
That's MIC. Mike.
MIC Mike.
Eastridge.
MIC
Mick.
Mick, pronounced Mike.
1 week.
Stands for microphone.
1 week from the battle for
Spells
Golden
Mick.
Eagle.
Is it called a microphone or a microphone?
Yeah. MIC is Mick. Any way you slice it, dog.
So if you go, hand me that mic, that's MIKE. If this, what's this?
MIK what?
E. That's Mike. M-I-K-E.
M-I-K-E?
Yeah, how do you spell
M-I-K-E.
Mick Foley?
That's the whole thing. M-I-C-K. This is a Mike. That's a Mike. He's got 30 years behind the Mike.
M-I-C.
That's
How
Mike.
do you spell Vic?
V-I-C.
So you can spell Mick, M-I-C.
You
How do
can.
you
Mick
spell
Foley is
A
M-I-C.
double burger with extra pepperoni,
From where?
extra jalapenos.
Pepperoni's on a
From
hamburger.
any place I can find it.
Battlefield Burger.
We're
Solid.
going to try it. We need to get them on as a
We need-
sponsor.
Yeah, we do.
We really do.
That is the best burger, I think, around.
Fast foodish, yes.
Battlefield Burgers.
Around,
Must
well,
be the Central Park.
Five Guys is strong too now.
They are.
But I really like Battlefield Burger.
But you're going to spend $60 on
That's
a
valid.
Five Guys burger.
Yeah,
and
that's what's
fries.
crazy. For the money, Battlefield Burgers can't
Yeah.
beat them. But
But
anyway,
they got one that you can put jalapenos, A1, or tomato on.
Or all.
And he puts seed, mine says tomato, but it's phenomenal.
It's great.
It's fire.
that's really good.
Let me see what
So
time they close
we
for.
do appreciate everybody that has tuned in, watched, and hung in with us. Share it. Let everybody know we're here. We're going to keep posting, keep reminding everybody. Well, you will see some stuff on Facebook, but you're going to see a lot more stuff on YouTube because YouTube gives you the option to play it full screen on TV and everywhere else. But we've got some other stuff we're going to work on real quick when we go off the air. Appreciate you watching. Thank you for tuning in. And as always, support your local church this weekend. Support high school football. And tell your family you love them. Tell those that are important to you you love them. I love these guys we work with. We have a good time. We cut up. That's why the chemistry is there. And yet we can go at it. And then at the end of the day, we still love each other.
That's right.
Take care. And may God richly bless you.
Gordon Lee Trojans.
See ya.
Peace.
Playoffs? Don't talk about playoffs.
Cannot play with them. Cannot win with them. Cannot coach with them. Can't do it. I want winners.
Hello? You play to win the game.
But they are who we thought they were. And we let them off the hook. Come after me. I'm a man. I'm 40.
That's all I got to say. Makes me want to